Okay, it's officially time for this A to Z mini rework, my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. Haha. So we are next up on Kindred, the Eternal Huntress. Hunters? Yeah, actually, that is actually what it is. The Eternal Hunters. Physical damage, style, mostly auto attacks, but some abilities, yes. Difficulty 3, very true. A lot of mobility, a lot of damage, crowd control, and utility. All true. Yeah, she is so squishy, though. Separate but never parted, Kindred represents the twin essence of death. Lamb's bow offers a swift release from the mortal realm for those who accept their fate. Wolf hunts down those who run from their end, delivering violent finality within his crushing jaws. Through interpretations of Kindred's nature vary across Runeterra, every mortal must choose the true face of their death. Okay. Abilities. Mark of the Kindred. Kindred can mark targets to hunt. Successfully completing a hunt permanently empowers Kindred's basic abilities. Every 4 hunts completed also increases Kindred's basic attack range. Dance of Arrows. Kindred tumbles and shoots up to 3 arrows at nearby targets. Wolf's Frenzy. Wolf enrages and attacks enemies around him. Lamb passively gains stacks by moving and attacking. When fully charged, Lamb's next attack restores health. Mounting Dread. Lamb fires a carefully placed shot, slowing the target. If Lamb attacks the target 2 more times, her third attack, instead it directs Wolf to pounce on the enemy, savaging them for massive damage. And then we have Lamb's Respite. Lamb grants all living things inside his zone a respite from death until the effect ends. Nothing can die at the end. Units are healed. Okay, so I have a few things with Kindred. Kindred went from first being released to meh, to becoming really good, to being really bad, to being really good, to being really bad. And now she's really good again. And it's just back and forth with Kindred. There is no real balance of Kindred, to be completely honest. It's just always a state of either she's terrible and gets one shot instantly, or she's a god that 1v9s everything. And I'm really not quite sure how I would mess with her, because they changed her. They changed her passive. They changed her Q. They've changed her W. They've changed every ability I think she has except for her E and maybe her ult. Because like that W originally didn't have the passive before. The W placed differently. Her Q changed. I think her E changed a lot too. Like it's something else with her. It also doesn't even mention with her passive that the enemy's jungle also gets randomly picked for murder too, but I guess it's kind of understandable. But Kindred is something else. Every time I think I've played Kindred, I've fed. I love Kindred's kit. I really like it. But then I remember that Kindred is meant to be a ADC in the jungle, meaning I don't play ADC, and an ADC is an ADC. Just because it's an ADC doesn't mean that I'm magically going to start doing good at them, even if they're in the jungle, and that's where I would prefer to be. So, for me personally, I don't know. I am not quite sure. I think her E's damage is a bit too much. I think her W is just fine. I think her Q is just fine. I think her passive gets a little obnoxious. It's kind of just hard to tell, because with her passive, if she isn't good, she really won't fully utilize it. If she is good, then it changes things really quickly. I do think that maybe it should be a bit changed in the essence of it increasing damage wise, like how much it increases, but I don't think it's that bad. Also, this is actually would be a buff to her, but I don't think that I just don't like her ult. I wish there was a way to either end it sooner or just mess with it in some sort of way. Such as, I wish that, like, while her ult is active, something else either couldn't be active. Like, maybe she can't use Wolf. Like, a Wolf activates this thing, or she can't leave her own ult or something along that line, or I don't know how I want to describe it. But I do think that she should have some minor changes. I think that her passive should be a little weaker, but I really, just by, like, lowering the amount that it increases. Her Q, her W are fine. I think that the damage that the E does is so much. Like, even at low levels, it really hurts, and I do think that it should be lowered a little bit. And then we have her R, as I was saying. I wish that when she uses it, it caught, like, she can't use her W, or she can't leave the area, or something along that line. Or even, like, maybe she still can't use her W, but she would be able to leave. But upon using her ult, Wolf, like, goes into the center of the zone, and he becomes, like, a targetable entity. And because he's targetable, if you, like, hit him enough times, which will have, like, a certain amount of HP, if you kill him, then it will, like, end the ult early, or it will prevent the heal. Just something along that line, just to, like, kind of change the tide of battle. Because one of the biggest things that I see her ult being used for is to tower dive, and it's so ridiculous just watching her murder you under your tower, and then she gets a heal and dashes out and lives, and you're just like, wow, that's great. I like the fact how she lived with absolutely no HP and tanked several tower shots because, you know, she's invincible. So I do wish that there was, like, kind of something along the line that you could hit to just stop it. Like, as I was saying, I wish that it would deactivate her W, maybe her E as well. Like, maybe it would still let her use her E, but it wouldn't have as much as a damaging effect. But I think that may be a little bit too much. But then it causes, like, something spawns in the middle, and if you kill it, then it ends her ult early. Meaning it would still heal all around her, healing both you and her, but it would end it early, which would give more option for counterplay. Like, that way you guys could actually maybe kill her, or because it ended early, she wasn't expecting it, and then the next thing she knows, she can die, she's at low HP, thought she'd heal from, like, her W or something, and then, nope, now she's capable of dying, is still at low HP, and, you know, you aren't as bad off as she is. Something along that line to add a bit of counterplay. But then it would also add a bit of, like, a counterplay for her, because maybe the target will decide to stop hitting her and hit the other thing instead. And because of that, it will cause her time to auto-attack them more, which will then get them to lower HP. Then the ult will end, the heal will go off, she'll still be at higher HP and probably a higher damage output, and then she kills you because you, instead of deciding to, like, still attack her and whittle her down even more than you could before, you decided to hit the other thing. So I do think that there should be basically a way to mess with her ult to add a little bit of a different type of counterplay, and I'd only lower the damage off of her E and maybe lower the effect of her passive, but that's it. Nothing huge, honestly. I don't think she's broken per se, but I do think that she can get out of hand really quickly, and that her E damage is a bit much. Then let's go to skin, just to be easy because she has like 3. Her base Kindred skin, I love. I have this skin, and I love her Shadowfire skin, and I want this skin. I love the Super Galaxy skins. I love all of the skins. I'm not going to rate her base skin because it's her base skin, but, like, honestly, this is easy, like, 7, 8 out of 10. And honestly, I like this one more, even though I am more of, like, a fire effect type person. I do just kind of think this one looks cooler.
So I'd put this at like a 9 out of 10. Like this easy 8.59 both out of 10. Just I love these skins. They are very good in my opinion. And even just her base skin is great. And honestly, that is Kindred. I know I didn't have a huge amount of talk about it, but honestly, I think Kindred's pretty good for the most part. I do think that she just needs a small change to her damage numbers, because right now she's just a bit too strong. So I don't think she needs anything huge, because if they do another huge change, it could drop her back to being unusable again, and that's like what I really hate with Kindred, is she either is unusable or overpowered. And then I think that there should be more counterplay around her ult, because her ult is just so obnoxious and so difficult to really play around. I guess it's kind of difficult for her to play around it too, but it's still just very annoying that I wish there was like something tangent that you could do that made it, that would really affect how the fight was going to go. Just something that you could really do. And, yeah, that has been my A to Z, my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth with Kindred. If you agree with anything that I've said, please tell me down below in the comments. And I will gladly take any constructive criticism. If you have anything to say for any other champion, I will also gladly take that into consideration, respond as soon as I possibly can. And I am going to thank you all very much for watching this video, and I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye.